Where is the ferry terminal? A practical phrase used to locate the ferry terminal. Where is the ferry terminal? While a sailor penguin rolled a terminal across the harbor, I asked, where is the ferry terminal? I'd like a ticket for the next ferry. A practical phrase used to buy a ticket for the next available ferry. I'd like a ticket for the next ferry. While the ticket booth sailed past in a toy boat, I said, I'd like a ticket for the next ferry. Is this a one-way or round-trip ticket? A practical phrase used to confirm whether a ferry ticket is one-way or return. Is this a one-way or round-trip ticket? While the ticket spun around and waved from both sides, I asked, is this a one-way or round-trip ticket? What time does the ferry depart? A practical phrase used to ask for a ferry departure time. What time does the ferry depart? While a ship checked an enormous wristwatch, I asked, what time does the ferry depart? How early should I board? A practical phrase used to ask how early passengers should board. How early should I board? While a boarding ramp arrived before the ship, I asked, how early should I board? Which pier does it leave from? A practical phrase used to identify the correct departure pier. Which pier does it leave from? While 3 piers raised numbered paddles at once, I asked, which pier does it leave from? Can I take my luggage on board? A practical phrase used to check whether luggage may be carried onto a vessel. Can I take my luggage on board? While my suitcase wore a captain's hat, I asked, can I take my luggage on board? Is there a luggage storage area? A practical phrase used to locate luggage storage on a ferry or ship. Is there a luggage storage area? While the suitcases built neat bunk beds for themselves, I asked, is there a luggage storage area? Can I take a car on the ferry? A practical phrase used to ask whether a ferry transports cars. Can I take a car on the ferry? While a compact car practiced tying sailor knots, I asked, can I take a car on the ferry? Is the sea rough today? A practical phrase used to ask about current sea conditions. Is the sea rough today? While the waves held a polite but energetic dance class, I asked, is the sea rough today? Where can I get seasickness medicine? A practical phrase used to locate medicine for motion sickness at sea. Where can I get seasickness medicine? While a tablet steadied a wobbling toy boat, I asked, where can I get seasickness medicine? Is there an indoor seating area? A practical phrase used to ask whether indoor seating is available. Is there an indoor seating area? While a sofa wore a raincoat on the open deck, I asked, is there an indoor seating area? Can I sit on the upper deck? A practical phrase used to ask whether passengers may sit on the upper deck. Can I sit on the upper deck? While a deck chair climbed a tiny staircase, I asked, can I sit on the upper deck? How long is the crossing? A practical phrase used to ask how long a ferry journey takes. How long is the crossing? While a stopwatch floated beside the ship in a life jacket, I asked, how long is the crossing? Does the ferry stop at any islands? A practical phrase used to ask whether a ferry calls at islands along the route. Does the ferry stop at any islands? While 3 islands held small bus stop signs, I asked, does the ferry stop at any islands? Where is my cabin? A practical phrase used to locate an assigned cabin on a ship. Where is my cabin? While a cabin door rolled past on tiny wheels, I asked, where is my cabin? Is breakfast included on the cruise? A practical phrase used to check whether a cruise fare includes breakfast. Is breakfast included on the cruise? While croissants sailed around a buffet in paper boats, I asked, is breakfast included on the cruise? What time do we return to the ship? A practical phrase used to confirm the return time during a shore visit. What time do we return to the ship? While the ship sent a pocket watch ashore as a reminder, I asked, what time do we return to the ship? Do I need my passport to go ashore? A practical phrase used to check whether a passport is required for a shore visit. Do I need my passport to go ashore? While a passport waited at the gangway in beach sandals, I asked, do I need my passport to go ashore? Has the departure time changed? A practical phrase used to check for a change to a vessel's departure time. Has the departure time changed? While the timetable erased itself with a tiny sponge, I asked, has the departure time changed?